Hi guys. A lot of people want to enter the IAS, but they do not have a good idea what a career in the IAS really entails. So I thought that Roman Seni requested me to give you guys an idea what career in the IAS would mean for you and what kind of post you can occupy after clearing the IAS exam. I hope this talk motivates you to prepare much more harder for the IAS exam, as I would be giving you an overview of what really a career in the IAS means for you guys. So the first post that you get after you finish training for 2 years would be that of the subdivisional magistrate, or it is called as a sub collector in some states. This is the very first post that you get in your career, and you would be basically the head of the subdivisional level administration in your district. So every state of India is divided into some districts, and every district is divided into subdivisions. And so initially you'll be the head of administration in the subdivision before you move on to become collector in your later years. So what will you be doing as sub SDM or sub collector? You would be in charge of some basic aspects of administration, like land administration, or you would also be in charge of handling law and order in your district. So you would have to coordinate with all the other government departments, like including the police, to ensure that everything is smooth and running in your district. So after sub collector, an IAS officer is posted as additional collector, or CEO Zilla Parishad, or as a city development officer. So you may be wondering, what are these three names? All these three names are the same post. Depending on which state you are posted to, the name which is given to you may change. And so what do you do as an additional collector? You are in charge of the development department in your district. So it means that you are the person who is responsible for building roads, and who is responsible for who is the nodal officer who should coordinate the construction of ration shops, or the who is responsible for communicating to the government that a particular area may need a school or a hospital. And so it is a very exciting job. You are also responsible for implementation of Narega, which is the National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, as an additional collector in your district. So it is a very exciting job to do, and it's a very fulfilling job as well. So because after this post, you will get on to be you will become the collector of the district, and this post will give you a good exposure of what you should do as a collector. So generally, after like 5 to 6 years of your service, you would be appointed as collector of your district. And this district may be something which is different, which is a different district from where you functioned as a sub collector or the additional collector. So what will you do as the district magistrate or collector? As a DM or the collector, you are the nodal officer who is responsible for functioning of all the government departments in your district. So there are nearly 30 to 35 government departments, such as the irrigation department, or the public works department, or the health department, or the school education department. So all these officers will have officers. All these officers will be reporting to you at the district level. So you are really the nodal person for the government in the district. You are seen as the first citizen of the district, and you are really the representative of the chief minister of the state in that district. So it is a very high responsibility, and it is also one of the most fulfilling periods of your career. So generally, after the first 10 years of the service, you would be done with your collectorship. Like you may be collector of 2 or 3 districts, and after that you would be brought to the secretariat, the state secretariat of the state you're working. What role will you play in the state secretariat? In the state secretariat, you will be involved in the policy making functions. And so as an IAS officer, you may be posted as joint secretary initially in the state secretariat, and you may be posted in any of the government department. So there are multiple government departments. You may be posted in the IT department of the state, or that is the information technology department, or you may also be posted in the higher education department of the state, which is basically that you are very responsible for the administration of all the government colleges which is running in your state. So it is again a very exciting career path, and some officers, they take the option of working in the central government, in which case they are posted, they may be working as private secretary to a central union government minister, or they may be working as deputy secretary in the union government. This is called as central deputation. So officers have the option of coming to the central government after 9 years of service, and so you essentially, as an all India service officer, you can work in the central government as well as in the state government. So after 16 years of service, an IAS officer is promoted to the level of secretary to state government, or in the equivalent post in the central government, that is in Delhi, would be joint secretary to central government. So what is our role as secretary to state government is, the closest role I can think of, or the closest parallel I can think of, to explain in common terms, is that of being the primary advisor to the minister who is running the department in the state, or to the central minister who is running that department in the central government. So yeah, we will be responsible for studying the issue and giving our advice after considering all options to the political representatives, because we are finally living in a democracy, and the all the options have to be presented to the political head in such a manner that the best option, the best decision can be taken. And other than these various career options, an IAS officer can also be appointed as head of public sector organizations or public sector units, and this can range from anything. This can range from being the head of the electricity board in the state, or the government runs many other public sector factories, so we can be asked to head any of these public sector organizations. So it is really the leadership cadre of the government. And there are also opportunities for IAS officers to go abroad for higher studies. So the government has an agreement with very elite universities abroad, such as the Oxford University, or the Cambridge University, or Harvard University. So these are really the top class institutions across the world, so that we can constantly learn throughout our career and constantly update ourselves. So it is an opportunity for this study would be funded completely by the government, and it is a very good opportunity for us to learn a lot about any field of study which we may be interested in. And other than this, an IAS officer may be also be allowed to hold posts in international organizations like the World Bank, or the International Monetary Fund, or the or the Asian Development Bank, or even the United Nations. There are, as you can see, there are varied career opportunities which and career in the IAS can give to you. And finally, after 30 years of service, an IAS officer can be appointed as the chief secretary of the state government, in which role he would be very much involved in working with the chief minister of the state to ensure that all the policies of the government are implemented by the state bureaucracy. You are essentially the head of the state bureaucracy as chief secretary of the state, or even an IAS officer can be appointed as cabinet secretary to the government of India at the end of say 30 to 34 years of service, in which role he would be working closely with the Prime Minister of India to ensure that all the decisions of the Prime Minister are implemented properly in the government of India and across the entire bureaucracy. So as cabinet secretary, which will come at the very end of the career for a few officers, you will be the head of the civil service of India. So these are the various opportunities which are available for an IAS officer, and I hope this motivates you to work very hard to enter the IAS. And I hope I have educated all you guys about what a career in the IAS actually entails. Thank you for watching this video.